Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18 plus.
Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter-Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
A funny Sunday with episodes of the George Burns and Gracie Allen Show, Amos and Andy, Phil Harris and Alice Faye, and Charlie McCarthy. And that's all straight ahead here on this Sunday. This is the second day of March, 61st day of the year. We have 304 days remaining until we get to 2025, or 26 rather. Congress standardizing U.S. weights and measures on this date in 1799. In 1807, Congress passed an act to prohibit the importation of slaves in any port or place within the jurisdiction from of the U.S. from any foreign kingdom, place, or country. Congress created the Courts of Customs and Patent Appeal on this date in 1929. And in 1836, Declaration of Independence of the Republic of Texas from Mexico. In 1861, Nevada Territory, Dakota Territory organized as political divisions of the U.S. Congress created the Department of Education on this date in 1867. And in 1877, Congress declared Rutherford B. Hayes the winner of the election, even though Samuel J. Tilton had won the popular vote on November 7th of 1876 during Reconstruction. In the state of Washington on this date in 1899, Mount Rainier National Park established. And in 1925, the Secretary of Agriculture approved the first list of U.S. numbered highways. In 1933, King Kong had its world premiere in New York City.
Something monstrous. Throw your arms across your eyes and scream, man. Scream for your life.
Oh, no. It wasn't the airplanes. It was beauty killed the beast.
Highlights from King Kong premiering in New York City on this date in 1933. Elmer Fudd made his cartoon debut on this date in 1940 in Elmer's Candid Camera. In 1949, Captain James Gallagher landed his B-50 Superfortress Lucky Lady II in Fort Worth after completing the first non-stop around-the-world airplane flight in 94 hours and 1 minute. The first automatic street lights installed in New Milford, Connecticut on this date in 1949. The Academy Awards first broadcast on television by NBC on this date in 1953. In 1962, Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain scored 100 points for the Philadelphia Warriors in a game against the New York Knicks, setting an NBA record that still stands. Bill Campbell had the call on WCAU radio.
In the Chamberlain.
Wilt the Stilt would retire in 1973 after a 14-year NBA career. He passed in 1999 at the age of 63. In other things that took place on this date, 1969, the supersonic airliner Concorde made a faultless maiden flight. Its use in commercial air travel would end in 2003. The supersonic transports were just too loud over land until they got way in the air. So taking off, it was just annoying. Prime Minister of Rhodesia Ian Smith declared his country a republic on this date in 1970, cutting its last link with the British Crown. The Pioneer 10 space probe launched from Cape Canaveral on this date in 1972 with a mission to explore the outer planets. Yahoo incorporated on this date in 1995. It was a big deal at the time, and it's just a shadow today of what it was. As the Supreme Court was deliberating two separate cases on the display of the Ten Commandments on government property, White House Press Secretary Scott McClellan said the administration had filed a brief.
We support the display of the Ten Commandments in this instance.
The two cases split along complicated reasonings. 2012, a tornado outbreak occurred over a large section of the southern U.S. and into the Ohio Valley regions, resulting in 40 tornado-related fatalities. One observer summing it up.
The damage is truly remarkable. I mean, someone asked me a moment ago to sum it up. It's horrific.
Tornadoes no fun. That was back in 2012. And under intensifying pressure, Attorney General Jeff Sessions on this date in 2017 abruptly agreed to recuse himself from any investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 presidential election. He acted after revelations that he spoke with the Russian ambassador twice during the campaign and failed to say so when pressed by Congress.
My staff recommended recusal. I believe those recommendations are right and just.
President Trump repeatedly criticized Sessions for taking this action and eventually replaced him as Attorney General. And by and large, the whole Russian meddling thing and colluding with the campaign was found not to have taken place. Although, let's face it, there are lots of, you have to maintain a friendly relationship with Russia if you're going to threaten them to quit doing bad stuff. That's really the truth. Passing away on this date, English writer D.H. Lawrence, actor-director Randolph Scott, actress Sandy Dennis, Dusty Springfield, the son of a preacher man, Silly, Silly Fool, great music. Musician Hank Ballard, Finger Poppin' Time. Actress Mercedes McCambridge, a lot of radio work. And musician Martin Denny, passing away on this date in history. Now, birthdays today include the Republic of Texas President Sam Houston, Pope Pius XII, composer Kurt Weill, the three-penny opera composer. Also, Dr. Seuss.
I wish we could do what they do in Catrue. They sure know how to say happy birthday to you. In Catrue, every year, on the day you were born, they start the day right in the bright early morn, when the birthday honker hikes high up Mount Zorn and lets loose a big blast on the big birthday horn.
Hans Conried with that Dr. Seuss reading. Theodore Seuss Geisel, Dr. Seuss, born up on this date in history, along with Desi Arnaz, Babaloo. Also actress Jennifer Jones, singer, guitarist Lou Reed, singer Eddie Money, and the wonderful, wonderful Karen Carpenter, all born on this date in history.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
Dr. Beverly Crusher in the TV and film series Star Trek The Next Generation. Gates McFadden, 76 today. Actress-comedian Lorraine Newman is 73. The Osmonds, Jay Osmond is 70. The Cowsills, John Cowsill is 69. Also, John Bon Jovi is 63. The sixth James Bond, Daniel Craig, is 57.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
I thought I said that. Daniel Craig, 57 today. Coldplay's Chris Martin is 48. From Pitch Perfect, Rebel Wilson, 45.
See, I guess I'm just not really living if I'm not being 100% honest. And my real name is Fat Patricia.
Rebel Wilson, 45 today. From The Help, Pete's Dragon in Jurassic World, Bryce Dallas Howard, 44.
Corporate felt genetic modification would up the wow factor.
They're dinosaurs. Wow enough.
Not according to our focus groups.
From Jurassic World, Bryce Dallas Howard, 44 today, and rapper Becky G is 28. Those just a few of the people who celebrate the second day of March as their birthday. If this is your birthday...
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Mrs. Miller. We're going to head back to World War II again, an episode of George Burns and Gracie Allen. 82 years ago, March 2nd, 1943, as Gracie seriously is about to play Carnegie Hall. Listen.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather, now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Should public utilities fail in time of disaster, refrigerated foods must be either cooked or eaten before they spoil. If this can't be done, throw it away.
All right, on this Sunday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of the George Burns and Gracie Allen Show. I believe this is for Spam. 82 years ago, March 2nd, 1943.
Well, hello. Come right in. Oh, George, we've got company.
Good evening. This is Bill Goodwin speaking for Lever Brothers, makers of Swan, the new white floating soap. Well, it's Tuesday night again. Time for another pleasant visit with George Burns and Gracie Allen, their guests, Madeleine Carroll, Jimmy Cash, and Paul Whiteman and his music. And now meet the people who live in the Burns house, George and Gracie. Well, George and Gracie have just arrived in New York City with their little duck, Herman. And here they are about to enter the lobby of one of Manhattan's large hotels.
Hey, wait a minute, Gracie. You better hide Herman. They'll never allow a duck in a hotel like this.
Oh, yes. Herman, you jump into Mama's hat box. There. Now is Mama's precious.
So put the lid on. Let's go and register. Oh, clerk.
Yes? This hotel is jammed to the doors. We don't need you.
Yeah, well, he's right, George. You know, I've heard that they're so crowded here that Tommy Manville is in the same room with his wife.
Well, that's pretty crowded.
Boy, take this luggage up to 3311.
Oh, give me that hat box.
What's made that noise?
George, you better take some bicarbonate.
Oh, yeah.
Madam, what is in that hat box?
Did you think it was a duck?
I've seen a lot of hats, but that's the first one I've ever heard.
Oh, well, this is one of the new Hollywood hats. They're wearing them very loud this year.
Gracie, come on.
No, in a minute, dear. Clerk, will you please send our breakfast up right away? We're starved.
Yes, madam.
We'd like 2 glasses of orange juice, 2 cups of coffee, some toast, and a half a dozen worms.
A half a dozen worms?
Why? Is that too many? Are they rationing the men now?
Gracie, come on.
Oh, no. Here comes Tootsie Sagwell. Hello, Tootsie.
Hello, Gracie. Hello, George.
Oh, hello, Tootsie.
This wonderful, wonderful New York. This marvelous city.
Oh, you like it, Tootsie?
Oh, do I? Didn't you always say that only 1 man in a million would ever go for me?
That's right.
And aren't there 4 million men in New York?
That's right.
Well, that's 4 men.
Tootsie, are you going to stop at this hotel?
Yes, they wouldn't take me at the YMCA.
Hello, people.
Hello, Bill.
Clerk.
Yes?
I'm Bill Goodwin. I wrote in for a reservation.
Oh, yes, Mr. Goodwin. And referring to your letter, we realize there's a meat shortage, but we definitely cannot allow you to keep birds in the bathroom.
Well, now, wait. Who wants to keep birds in the bathroom?
You do, according to your letter. It says here, I cannot consider staying at your hotel unless there is Swan in the bathroom.
Oh, well, you see, Swan, the new white floating soap that's purer than finest Castiles, a regular suds and whiz.
Oh, I see. Well, Mr. Goodwin, we're rather crowded, so if you're going to be with us a while, I'd suggest you reserve a table in our dining room.
Oh, no, thank you. I want every meal sent up to my room.
Every meal?
Oh, yes. You see, the minute I finish eating, I like to jump right up and wash the dishes with Swan. Swan is great for washing dishes, you know, because it suds faster than other white floating soaps. And Swan is purer than finest Castiles. It's mild and kind to your hands. Helps keep them soft and lovely. So Swan should be used for every soap and water job around the house.
Well, I must say, you're a rather unusual guest, Mr. Goodwin. Oh, boy, show Mr. Goodwin to his room.
Yes, sir. Right this way, sir. Well, you just take my bags up, son, and you'll probably need another boy to help you. Here, this is for your trouble. Split it with the other boy. Split it? Sure, break it in two and give him half. Swan breaks in two with an easy twist of the rest, you know. So you can use half in the kitchen for dishes and cleaning and half in the bathroom for your hands and face.
Well, I really can't take all this, Mr. Goodwin.
No?
No, you get 3 bubbles change.
Well, this will go on for days. Come on, Gracie, let's go up to our rooms.
George, isn't this a lovely suite?
Yeah, isn't it pretty?
Herman, jump up on the windowsill and Mama will show you New York. There, that's a good boy. Now, see that great big building over there? Uh-huh. Well, that's the Empire State Building. It was built by a governor of New York named Al Smith, an old Dutchman who had a wooden leg.
Gracie, Peter Stuyvesant had a wooden leg.
Oh, him too, huh?
Yeah, he kept it in his brown derby.
Oh.
It's cold.
Well, now New York stops right at that river, Herman. Yes, really. And beyond the river is the Bronx. Very wild place where the Indians live.
Gracie, there are no Indians in the Bronx. Okay. The Bronx is full of Indians, and they wear feathers. Turkey feathers. Some wear chicken feathers. But most of them wear duck feathers. Yes, and they sneak up behind little ducks and pull the feathers out of their tails.
Oh, now, George, that was me.
Yeah, I feel awful, yeah. Come in.
Mr. Burns?
That's right, boy.
I have an epistle for you.
Epistle?
Yes, that means a letter.
Well, thanks. Gracie, here's a letter for you. Yes, boy? Oh, I suppose you're waiting for a tip.
Quite. $1 is the usual amount.
Well, here's a dime. You've had an unusual experience.
Oh, dear. Sometimes I wish I had never left Dartmouth.
Oh, George, this is a note from Madeleine Carroll. She has a room right next to us, and she's coming in to say hello.
Oh, good.
Oh, Madeleine Carroll is awfully pretty, isn't she, George?
Uh-huh, yes.
Prettier than I am. Huh?
Oh, no. You're much prettier than she is.
Oh, no, I'm not. Huh?
Oh, yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Oh, yes, you are.
I know, but I'm too modest to blow my own horn.
Whiteman, and here's what we consider a mighty smooth arrangement by Jimmy Mundy of one of America's favorite tunes, Moonlight Mood.
Madeleine Carroll, Judge. Come in.
Well, hello, Gracie. Hello, George.
I'm so glad to see you.
Gracie, you look absolutely wonderful. And George, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
I can only stay a second, but I'm dying to hear all about Hollywood, Gracie. Does, what's her name still wear those false,
eyelashes? Yes.
Did, who's it ever get married?
Yeah. She married a fellow from Sacramento.
No.
Made him a millionaire in 6 months.
Really?
Yeah. Of course, he was a multimillionaire when she married him.
Honestly, Gracie, why doesn't she retire from pictures? She'd be known as the grand old lady of the screen, if she were only a lady.
Yeah. Well, isn't it nice to get together and talk about old friends?
Yes. But, I have to be getting back to my room. I'm trying to learn a very difficult script for my next picture. Goodbye. I'll see you later.
Oh, all right. Goodbye, Madeleine.
Gracie, who were you and Madeleine talking about?
Oh, you know George. The girl who lived in the... she always ate at... whenever we went to... She was always there with... Remember now?
Oh, yes. She was married to, with the big fat, oh, a lovely couple. Yes.
Come in.
I beg your pardon. Is this the room from which the request for a piano emanated?
Oh, no. You got the wrong room.
Oh, no, they haven't, dear. Bring the...
Well, have you a firm grasp, Mr. Ridgway? I have indeed, Mr. Fielding. Then steady as she goes, Mr. Ridgway. Excellent, Mr. Ridgway, excellent. Oh, I fancy any piano mover could have done it, Mr. Fielding. Your modesty becomes you, Mr. Ridgway. Oh, come, Mr. Fielding. No, Mr. Ridgway. Why, you positively had me blushing, Mr. Fielding. But I...
Quiet, down. Gracie, I know why you had that piano brought in here. Stop it. I told you could not play the piano at Paul Whiteman's concert in Carnegie Hall.
You did not. You said I couldn't play until I was as good as Rachmaninoff.
Well,
I'll practice a couple of days.
I can't stand this. I'm getting out of here.
Oh, poor George. He just has no ear for music. Could cry when I think of all the beauty that he misses. Like that, for instance.
Making that awful... I didn't know you were taking piano lessons, Gracie.
Oh, I'm not taking lessons, Madeleine. I'm just rehearsing for my appearance in Carnegie Hall.
Huh?
Well,
your what?
Paul Whiteman is going to give a concert there on the 16th, and I'm going to be his guest soloist.
Will George, by any chance, do a striptease on the same program?
Oh, no. It's just an artistic evening. Pardon me, Madeleine. Come in.
Hello, Gracie. I came to... Oh, gee, isn't that Madeleine Carroll?
Madeleine, this is my girlfriend, Tootsie Sagwell.
How do you do? Oh, Carol, I've been dying to meet you for ages. But the closest I ever came was one night in Hollywood when I waved to you at the wrestling matches. Remember? No, I'm afraid I don't. Who are you wrestling? Oh, well, never mind. Gracie, could I borrow a few handkerchiefs?
Well, sure, Tootsie. Didn't you bring any?
Yes, but I've used all trying to get acquainted with men. I keep dropping them on the sidewalk, and they keep kicking them into the gutter.
Oh. Well, why don't you try dropping them in the gutter?
Oh, I don't care to meet that class of man. Goodbye.
Now, what were we saying, Madeleine?
Well, about your practicing, Gracie. I'm trying to memorize a part right in the next room, and there are no other rooms available. You understand, don't you?
Oh, yes. You can't help listening when I pour my soul out on the keyboard.
I knew you'd understand.
You know, I'd stop in a minute if George wasn't so stubborn.
George?
Yes. He doesn't want me to give the concert until I'm as good as Rachmaninoff. So I have to practice.
Gracie, please don't practice anymore. I mean, really, you're as good as Rachmaninoff right now.
Well, you know that, and I know it, and Rachmaninoff knows it, but George is so stubborn.
Gracie, there must be some way you could persuade George to let you play the concert without practicing.
Have you any ideas?
Well, one of my friends can make her husband do anything because she once caught him flirting. Did you ever catch George?
Oh, no. He never looks at another woman.
But I've got to learn my part for that picture?
Well, wait, I've got it. We can help each other.
How?
Well, let me catch you flirting with George.
Oh, no. George isn't exactly my type.
Oh, well, it's too bad. So, Madeleine, I know you want to concentrate on your part, and I do get tired of this.
On second thought, George isn't so bad. In fact, he's becoming more attractive every minute. Stop, I'll do it. I'll make love to George.
Oh, wonderful. That solves both our problems.
Yes, and someday I'll erect a monument, and the inscription will say, "To the memory of Madeleine Carroll. No actress can ever equal the sacrifice she made for the sake of the theater."
And now here's Jimmy Cash, and his song is "You'd Be So Nice to Come Home To."
You'd be so nice to come home to. You'd be so nice by the fire, while the breeze on high sang a lullaby. You'd be all that I could desire. Under stars chilled by the winter, under an August moon burning above, you'd be so nice, you'd be paradise. Under stars chilled by the under an August moon burning above, you'd be so nice, you'd be paradise. Come home to and
Gracie, I've been thinking this over, and honestly, I don't believe I can go through with it.
Why not, Madeleine? What's wrong?
Well, the idea of making love to George is a little too much for me. I've got cold feet.
Oh, well, he'll never notice that. Just keep your shoes on.
I mean, I'm nervous. Couldn't we call it off?
Well, we could, but if we do, I'll have to keep practicing for the concert, and you'll never be able to study your part for that picture.
Yes, there's that, and I simply must have peace and quiet if I'm ever to learn my lines. All right, Gracie, I'll do it.
Oh, good. But, Madeleine, before we go on, I want to ask you, well, it's rather a personal question.
Well, what is it?
Well, do you know how to make love?
My dear girl.
Well, you see, you said you were nervous, and I suppose that means you haven't had any experience. And, well, maybe we better have a talk.
Are you suggesting that before I play this scene with your husband, I should be told about the birds and the bees?
Oh, no. I don't want you to chirp at him or buzz for him. I just want you to be convincing. Can you make your voice low and quivery?
Don't worry about my voice. I guarantee to make every syllable sound like it was wearing a sweater.
Oh, good. We've just got to put this over. Now, when George comes in, you'll be reclining on this divan. Would you like a rose to hold in your teeth?
No, I believe not. It might confuse George. He wouldn't know whether I was luring him or eating a salad.
Oh, there's George. Now, lean back, Madeleine. Close your eyes. Yeah, that's right.
Quick, Gracie, run and hide. Come in. Oh, my beloved, at last you are here.
Huh? What?
My goodness, you're not the man I thought you were.
Oh, well, give me time, gorgeous. I just got here.
Please, you must go.
Go? Oh, gee, we just met. Ah, Maddie, You're beautiful. Your skin is like peaches and cream. Your lips are like cherries. Your hair...
Hadn't you better stop with just peaches and cherries? You've already used up 48 points.
You know, Madeleine, I'm crazy about blonde hair. Beautiful, soft, lustrous, curly blonde hair.
Really?
Yes, and the reason is that I wash it with Swan. That Swan, the new white floating soap that's purer than finest Castiles. Money can't buy a pure soap.
Dondi, you better go. You see,
I'm sorry, Madeleine. I know I acted impulsively, but I'm really not like that. At heart, I'm just a simple boy, the home type. I want only 3 things from life. A little cottage, a baby, and... Well, I guess you know the third.
What?
Bar Swan to bathe the baby. Swan is great for bathing babies, you know. It's so mild that it's kind even to a little baby's tent skin. So you know Swan must be great for your hands and face, your tub or shower.
Now, really, young man, you must leave this instant. I'm expecting someone.
Oh, I get it. You lead me on and then toss me aside like an old shoe. I should have listened when Father told me about women.
What did he tell you?
Well, he said, Willie, my son, women have long considered Castile soaps the standard of purity. But Swan is even purer than finest Castiles. That's what my pop said.
Oh, Bill, if you don't hurry up and leave, you'll spoil everything.
Oh, really? Well, say, what are you girls up to, Gracie?
Well, I'm trying to catch George, and Madeleine Carroll is the bait.
Madeleine Carroll is the bait? Well, gee, what a sucker I am. You know, all my life I've gone fishing with worms. So long.
Madeleine, isn't he cute?
Well, he might be fun in a soapy sort of way.
Well, look, George will be here any minute, so I'll go and hide again. And when you've got him trapped, I'll rush out.
Hey, shouldn't we have some sort of a signal?
Oh, yes. Look, when you're ready, why don't you say something to him in French?
All right. What about, l'amour? Toujours l'amour.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. It sounds even better than French. That must be George. Good luck, Madeleine.
Come in.
Hello, Madeleine.
Oh, my beloved. At last you are here.
Who? Me?
Yes, George, darling. George, my dearest. Didn't you know?
Why, who? Me?
It's useless to pretend any longer, George. I've tried to hide it, but I can't.
You can't?
No, darling. Hasn't it ever occurred to you that you're tremendously attractive?
Why, who? Me?
I must have you, George. I must have you, do you hear? Or I shall go mad. Mad, George, mad.
Mad?
Mad.
But, Madeleine, I'm a married man.
Yes, I know you're worried about leaving your wife, but you needn't, George. Don't forget, I make a very nice living, too.
But I love my wife, Madeleine.
No one shall stand in my way. Come here, to my arms.
Hey, cut it out, Madeleine. Let go, don't do that.
L'amour, toujours l'amour.
Huh?
L'amour, toujours l'amour.
You just said that.
I know, but it doesn't seem to be getting results. L'amour, toujours l'amour.
Aha!
Well, now, Gracie,
You wolf, you cad, you two-timer. Sorry I was late, Madeleine. I had to run in my stocking.
Oh, that's quite all right.
Oh, you beast, George Burns. Just think that you would...
Wait a minute. So you framed me, huh?
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I just happened to walk in here and find you in the arms of a woman I'm absolutely certain is not your wife.
Uh-huh. Great, it won't work. You're not going to play the piano in Carnegie Hall March 16th. And that's final.
Well, Gracie, I guess our scheme's a failure. And I'm sorry I made love to your husband.
Oh, well, that's all right, Madeleine.
And, Gracie, you know that stuff you wanted to tell me about the birds and the bees?
Uh-huh.
You better tell it to George. Goodbye.
You know something, George Burns?
What?
Oh, I didn't like that look in your eye while Madeleine was hugging you.
Oh, go on. The only look I had was surprise.
In one eye. The other eye looked very happy.
You mean it was smiling?
I don't know. It seems to me that Madeleine Carroll is a very dangerous woman to have in the next room to you. I'll fix that. Still there. Has left lit. I'll get her. That did it. Well, I got rid of her.
George and Gracie will be right back, so I'm just going to take a second to say that I'll bet you've got at least 3 or 4 different kinds of soap in your house. Laundry bar soap, package soap, toilet soap. But look, you don't need any of them with Swan in the house. That's why Swan saves you money. In the kitchen for dishes and cleaning, Swan does the work of easily wasted package soaps. And in the bathroom, well, Swan gives you more soap per penny than any leading toilet soap tested. And gives you a soap that's purer than finest Castiles. So look, get Hep, get Swan. Well, here they are again, George and Gracie.
Look, Gracie, will you please forget the concert? I don't want you to get up in Carnegie Hall and make a fool of yourself.
Oh, don't worry, George. They laughed at all great musicians. They even laughed at Franz Schubert. But look at all the theaters named after him.
Yeah, that Paramount was a great musician, too.
Yeah.
Sam, good night, everybody.
The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in to your CBS station again next week. Their guests at that time will be Jose Irby and Deems Taylor. Remember, George Burns and Gracie Allen, CBS next Tuesday night. And don't forget to listen to Swan's other show, Tommy Riggs and Betty Lou, over another network. And now till next week, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, hi, Swan. How about you? Good night. The Columbia Broadcasting System.
George Burns and Gracie Allen from 82 years ago, March 2nd, 1943. Gracie really did her Concerto for One Finger in Carnegie Hall. And you know it was a hoot. Alrighty, coming up next, we're going to go back 80 years, still staying in World War II time frame, for an episode of Amos and Andy. That's up next.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
In case of enemy attack on our country, these 2 numbers, 640 and 1240, may save your life. They are your Conrad frequencies. Remember, 640 and 1240.
One of the most popular shows of its day. It really was. Amos and Andy, as much as some people like to get their sensibilities hurt, but it was one of the most popular shows of its time. 80 years ago, March 2nd, 1945. Freeman Gosden and Charles Correll in Amos and Andy.
The Amos and Andy Show. Whenever Andy Brown is in trouble, it's safe to assume that it's caused by either women or money. However, in his present difficulties, he's gone a step further. He's combined them both. At the moment, he is in his office looking to the Kingfish for comfort.
Oh, I tell you, Kingfish, I is in a mess here.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, I ain't got no sympathy for a man that expects to take out a gal on a date with only 12 cents in his pocket.
Well, listen, I suppose when you was courting your wife, you never took her out with only that much money, huh?
Never, Andy, never. If she didn't have at least $1, the date was off.
Well, the only thing I can figure out is to take this gal of mine someplace tonight where there ain't no charge for admission. I know, maybe the museum. That's free.
Yeah, there's only one trouble over taking her to a museum.
What's that?
If she's anything like that last gal you had, they're going to keep her there.
Oh, no, Kingfish. Wait a minute. This gal is different. And I is crazy about her. Honest, I is.
Andy, you sound serious.
Oh, Kingfish, I is. I loves her. And this ain't puppy love. This ain't no fly-by-night love. This is the real thing. The kind of love a fellow dreams about all his life. It's rare.
Chills, huh?
Oh, yeah. I ain't been in love like this since a week ago Tuesday.
Say, look, Andy, I don't know why you don't come right out and tell the gal you was broke. That ain't no crime.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Kingfish. This is one gal that I really want to marry.
Mm-hmm.
The gal got a good job in some office. She make a lot of money. Smart as a whip. You ought to see her handle numbers and figures. She's smart with figures.
Oh, business gal, huh?
Yeah, but there's one thing about that gal. She ain't got no respect for a man that ain't a success in business.
Yeah, that puts you right in the ash can, don't it?
Well, you see, to make a hit with her, why, I told her that I made about $7,000 last year.
Mm-hmm.
Told her that I got a lot of investments, so now how was I going to tell her that I was broke? I want to keep up a good front with her.
I tell you what you do, call her up, Anna, and tell her that you got some business that just come up. Tell her that you planned on taking her out to a very exclusive club for dinner, but you can't.
Yeah, that's the stuff. I can lay it on with her. What kind of dinner was I going to take her to?
Oh, high class. Tell her that the dinner was starting off with seafood, then lobster thermidor, then oysters on the half shell, pheasant, chicken under glass, and tell her the dessert was going to be that French, well, just say piece de resistance. Say that.
Yeah, hand me that phone.
Yeah, here you go.
I wish I had some money. I has had to take more gals on walking dates here lately. Getting so when I first meet a gal now, I look at her feet before I look at her face.
Yeah. Got to get a lot of mileage out of them, all right.
Sure do.
Hello?
Oh, hello. Is this Caroline?
Yeah.
Hello. This is Andy.
Oh, hello, Andy. How are you?
All right.
What time are you coming over tonight?
Oh, well, that's what I called you about, honey. I got in a meeting here with my bankers, and I ain't going to finish in time to get out tonight.
Oh, your bankers?
Yeah, they're here now. Wait just a minute. Hey, bankers, make that 2 off 10 net 60. And pile that money up on the table there, and stop walking around on them checks laying on the floor.
Yeah, for a guy with 12 cents, that's really putting on the dog there, son.
Wait a minute. Hello, honey. I was going to take you out to an exclusive club tonight for dinner. Sorry we can't go.
Oh, I am, too.
Tell her about the food, then.
Yeah. Tell you what we was going to have to eat, too, tonight, honey.
Well, what was that?
Oh, we was going to have a great meal. I had the whole thing ordered. We was going to start off first there with some kind of seafood.
A seafood cocktail?
Well, I ain't planned on no drinking. But anyway, then we blends into lobster thermostat. And then following that, you know what was next?
No, Andy, what?
Pheasant on the half shell. And then, honey, we was going to have chicken under glass.
Oh, I've heard of that. Chicken under glass.
Oh, yeah. Tell you the truth, for a while there, I was thinking of having the whole meal served under glass, including us.
Oh, that was quite a dinner.
Oh, but I ain't told you about the dessert.
What was that going to be?
Piece de resistance. We might even had 2 pieces of it.
Oh, I'm sorry we couldn't get together, but give me a ring at the office tomorrow. You have my number.
Yeah, all right. And don't forget your little Andy Wandy.
I won't. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Andy Wandy. Well, Andy, that was one of the crazy...
Wait a minute. Come in, Amos. Come in.
Well, hello there, fellas. How is you?
Hi, Amos.
Amos, you missed it. Man tells a gal that he made $7,000 in 1944. Made a date with her with 12 cents in his pocket. Who done that? Andy here. Well, it sounds like him all right, but speaking about your income for 1944, I just thought of something. Is you fellas figured out if you got any income tax to pay?
Income tax? Oh, me, they still got that thing.
I'll say they still got it. And if you were supposed to pay an income tax and you don't file it, the FBI come after you.
Huh?
Oh, me, I done forgot about the thing, too. The FBI, huh? You fellas better get going on it right away. Yeah, well, then, we as partners, so our income must be about the same. Get out the books there and let's figure out what it is.
Yeah, that's right. I'll get out the cash journal here. Got it right in my desk drawer here.
All right, keep the books, huh?
Oh, sure. Got each month on a separate page. Profit and loss and all that.
Yeah, start with January, Andy.
Yeah. January. Profit, nothing. Loss, $1. February, profit, nothing. Loss, $2.50. March, profit, nothing. Loss, $3. April, profit, nothing. Loss, nothing. Say, Kingfish, we broke even in April.
Yeah, well, you're bound to hit one good month there. What's next, then?
Well, then we took our summer vacation. May, June, July, August, and September.
Oh, we cut it short that year, didn't we?
You mean that you fellas took 5 months vacation after not making a dime all year?
Well, we was just resting up so we could hit the ball in October. What do we do in October there? Read the thing there. What does it say?
Well, you know Columbus Day coming that month. That's a holiday.
Yeah, I remember.
Looked like we celebrated Columbus Day the whole month here.
Yeah, great man, that Columbus. How about November?
Looked like we done celebrated him in November, too.
Look, Andy, that book you got there ain't right. I remember you telling me that at the end of the year that you made $250.
Yeah, that is right. Amos, I got to pay a tax on $250.
Well, I don't know, Andy. You better find out about that and find out quick.
Andy, we better go over and see our lawyer, Gabby Gibson. He's the man that can straighten you out. Hello there, Gabby.
Hello, Gabby. We got to see you about something right away.
Well, come right in, boys. Glad to see you. I sure is glad to see you.
Yeah. Now, look here, Gabby. We is here to talk to you about $250, Andy made.
$250? Did I say glad to see you? Let me change that to delighted.
Listen, Gabby, this ain't $250 that I got. It's $250 that I done earned and spent, and now I'm afraid I got to pay income taxes on it.
Oh, yeah, Gabby. What we come to see you about, we want to see if you knows anything about the income tax laws.
Does I know anything about the income tax laws? Why, the first client I ever had was in trouble about that very thing. Wanted my advice on how to keep him going to jail. So I explained the income tax to him. Explained it in and out, in and out.
And you kept him from going to jail, huh?
No, he's been in and out, in and out.
Well, look, Gabby, what we want to know is, did you know how to figure income tax?
That's very funny. Ask me if I can figure income tax. Can a duck swim? Can a duck swim?
You mean you can figure income tax as good as a duck can swim?
Well, not exactly, not exactly.
Then what you mean?
I can swim as well as a duck can figure income tax.
Listen, Kingfish, Gabby don't know nothing about income tax. Come on, let's go.
Oh, wait a minute, boss, wait a minute. I was only fooling. I knows all about income tax, all about it. The first thing you do is get a couple of the forms,
Couple of the forms, eh?
Yes, indeed. Next thing you takes one of them and puts down all deductions that you think is entitled to. All that you think you's entitled to.
Oh, then what?
Well, then you starts all over. You ain't entitled that much.
Listen, Kingfish, I was right the first time. Now, Gabby don't know nothing about income tax.
I do, too. I know that you better take care of that income tax. You better take care of it. Because if you don't, the government can force you. They sure can force you.
How can they do that?
How? By the law of the freedom of the seas. The freedom of the seas.
Freedom of the seas? How you figure that, Gabby?
If you don't pay that tax, the government gonna seize you and put you where you ain't got no freedom. That's freedom of the seas if I ever had it.
Hello there, Brother Andy. How is you?
Listen, Kingfish, I've been thinking things over since we seen Gabby this morning. I'm going to get this gal of mine, Caroline Martin, that knows so much about figures to help me with my income tax.
Brother Andy, that's what I hear about. I just come from the bank. Was talking to him over there. I got some of the forms that you fill out. And I happen to announce that I is now expert on income tax.
Oh, great, Kingfish, great. Where does we start?
Well, now, let's start with some deductions here. That's the only part of us there's any pleasure to. Let's see. Contributions, that's money for charity.
Well, say, listen, would the Mystic Knights of the Sea Relief Fund come under that?
Oh, sure.
Well, then put down $1.
$1? Is that all?
That's all they give me.
Oh, well, I'll put it down there. Now, the next deduction is, let me see here, depreciation. Now, that word there, don't let your veins sit up on you there. I'll explain the word. Depreciation means the wear and tear on something that you own and it make it go down in value.
Yeah, well, in that case, I can take off from my overcoat hanging over there.
Has your overcoat depreciated?
Well, take a look at it.
Don't look bad. Look like a green satin overcoat to me, that's all.
Yeah, well, when I got it, it was a fur coat with a green satin lining.
Now, let's see what else here. Well, I guess you call that depreciation, all right. Put that down, your overcoat. But on second thought, Andy, wait a minute, Charles. I don't think they'd allow you for nothing on your overcoat. If you want to deduct for depreciation, you got to own personal property, like a home, something you was lived in and slept in.
Oh, well, then I can deduct for my suit.
Well, I don't think Mr. Morgenthau had nothing like that in mind when he started this mess. I really don't think he did. Yeah, well, now, let me see. Let's forget that and get to the next deduction. What you got there now? Let's see this thing.
Yeah. Show me. What is the next one?
Yeah, well, now, I know you can deduct for medical expenses, hospital, doctor's bills, and all that stuff.
Doctor bills?
Yeah.
Oh, well, now, there's something right there.
Oh, we got something here.
Oh, sure. I had one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. In February of last year, I got a bill for $30 from the doctor for some work he done.
Yeah, well, we'll take that off. $30, huh?
Oh, great. And when I pays him, can I take it off again?
Yeah, I think you might be able to do that now. That ought to come under the heading, you take it off now and then take it off. Yeah, that come under the heading of double indemnity. That's what it come under.
Yeah, well, I know what that double means, but what did that indemnity or whatever it is mean? What is that?
Well, indemnity, I'll explain it to you. Indemnity means,
well, what it means?
Maybe we better not take that off there. I don't think we better not take that.
Oh, listen, Kingfish, we ain't getting no place here. But before I decide to have my gal Caroline help me with the taxes, I'm going to try one more thing.
Yeah, what you going to do?
I'm going to try Shorty the barber. He got a business, so he must have paid income taxes before.
Yeah, well, you can try Shorty all right, Andy, but I don't think Shorty going to be able to help you none.
Yeah.
You know one thing? He is the worst mathematician I done ever seen in my whole life.
He is, huh? Well, there ain't no excuse for no man not being smart at figures.
Only yesterday, I walked in Shorty there to get a haircut and a shave that totaled up to 60 cents. I handed him $1, and he give me a 50-cent change.
Oh, how you like that? Cheating you out of 20 cents. Well, I'm going to see him anyway. Shorty, the reason I dropped in, I thought maybe you could help me with something.
I'd be glad to, Andy. What does you want me to help you with?
My income tax. You was in this barber business here. You ought to know how to figure out income tax.
Oh, it's easy to figure out income tax. Yeah, you just fill out the form the government give you. You just follow their instruction. The form tells you just what to do. The government thinks so anybody can understand. Morgenthau don't even know.
Look, Shorty, you got a business here, so you must have paid some income tax. Now, you certainly ought to be able to help me fill out this income tax form.
Let me see it. Oh, I was very familiar with all the questions on that one.
Oh, you is? Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, the only trouble is I ain't very familiar with the answers.
Listen, Shorty, this is silly. You must know how to fill out this form. You has done paid income tax, ain't you?
Oh, sure. I have paid income tax already.
Oh, well, now we're getting someplace. We're getting warm here. When you pay your income tax, how do you figure out how much you got to pay?
Oh, I never figures anything out. I just send them everything I make. It's a much simpler method.
But if you send them everything you make, then you ain't got nothing left to live on.
I ain't?
No.
I knew there was something wrong with that method.
Shorty, you ain't no help to me at all, you know it? Don't you know nothing at all about the income tax?
Oh, sure. I know that the government allows $300 a year for a child.
They does?
Yeah, but how many children make that kind of money?
Yeah, that do kind of sound silly, don't it?
Yeah, I also know that there are different brackets. Yeah, the more money you make, the bigger bracket you was in, and then you got to pay a lot more. You got to watch that.
Yeah, well, none of that stuff has helped me none, so give me a haircut as long as I was here.
Oh, sorry, Andy. I can't give you one till next week.
Why not?
According to my books, I got to slow down or I'll be in a higher bracket.
Well, look, I want a haircut.
No, please, Andy. You mess up my whole bracket.
Listen, Shorty, I'll tell you what I'll do.
Mm-hmm.
If you give me a haircut, I promise you not to pay you for it.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, gee, Andy, you was a real pal.
Boy, this income tax gets more and more mixed up. I can't make head nor tail of it. I got a good mind to forget the whole thing and not even file no income tax.
No, that's it. That's a good idea, Andy. You don't have to stand for that kind of stuff. The government can't push you around like that. They ain't got the right to mess with... just ignore the whole thing. You'll love Alcatraz.
This has sure been a mess, Amos.
Yeah, you mean this income tax?
Yeah, if I'd have known income tax was going to be so hard to figure out, I never would have allowed myself to make any money this year.
Yeah, well, you didn't make much.
No, but by trying just a little harder, I could have made nothing.
Yeah, well, you almost did make nothing. Tell me, what is you going to do about filing it?
Well, I already done something about it. Amos, you remember me telling you about that new gal of mine, Caroline Martin?
Oh, the smart gal, yeah. She's the one that works, you say, at some big office. She's smart with figures.
Yeah, that's right.
Huh?
Well, I finally called her up and asked her if she would help me fill the thing out. She said that not only would she help me, but she'd do the whole thing herself.
Oh.
She told me if I just send over an income tax form with my figures, why, she'd fill the thing out for me.
Oh, that's great, Andy. Did you send her one of them blank forms?
Well, I didn't leave it all blank. I signed the thing where it says signatures. That was the only question I could understand.
Yeah, oh, I see. Say, wait a minute, though, Andy. Didn't you tell that gal you made $7,000 last year?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, when she sees from the figures that your income is only $250, she gonna know you've been lying to her.
Ah, but I got around that. I still told her I made $7,000 income. But when I gets the form back from her, all filled out, I'll just copy the way she done it on another form, but using my own $250 figures.
Oh, that's how you're gonna work it, huh?
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, I gotta get over to her office now, too. She told me she'd have the form all ready for me.
Good.
The Kingfisher's going over with me. I'll see you later.
Well, is this the building where your gal works, Andy?
Yeah, this must be it.
Yeah, why has we got to come up the alley and go in the back way to her office?
Well, she's filling out my tax blank for me on her working time, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she didn't want her boss to see her doing outside work.
Yeah, and by the way, Andy, if you expect her to believe that you was a $7,000 a year man, you better not put your feet up on the desk or nothing like that, because I noticed before that your shoes has got holes through the bottom of them.
Yeah, well, I done fixed that. I don't think she's going to notice that. I stuffed some newspaper in there.
A newspaper? Let me see. Lift up one of your feet.
There you is. Is it noticeable?
See the Yanks take Corregidor here.
Can you read that much?
Hey, there's Gravel Gertie running around there. Look at that. I see the whole headline in there.
Yeah, well, look, here's the door. Here, now, let's get in her office there, Kingfish.
Yeah, okay, let's go on in here.
Yeah, that's her over there at the desk, Kingfish. Wait a minute, here she comes.
Oh, hello, Andy. How are you? Come on over and sit down.
Hello, Caroline. I'd like to have you meet one of my business managers. This is George Kingfish Stevens and Miss Martin here.
Well, glad to know you, Miss
How do you do?
You know, making $7,000 like I do's, why, I always carries one or two business managers around with me.
Yes, I understand. Well, I filled out your whole form with the figures that you gave me over the phone, and the tax you owe on your $7,000 income is $1,200.
$1,200. A mere preference.
Yeah, a man making $7,000 a year like you, Miss Brown, no, that's nothing.
Yeah, well, Caroline, honey, if you just give me the form now that you made out, why, I'll take it back to my office and mail it off with the $1,200 I owe. Is this the form here?
Well, this is a copy.
A copy? Where's the original form, the one I signed?
Well, that's up front, didn't you know?
No, what?
I already filed it. This is the Income Tax Bureau.
and gentlemen, for humanity's sake in this time of great need, won't you contribute to the Red Cross?
They really need your help, folks, so won't you please give?
Thanks and good night.
Good night, folks.
Next week, Andy has to find some way out of paying income tax on the $7,000 he boastfully reported through his girlfriend. So don't miss it. This program is broadcast to our armed forces all over the world. This is Harlow Wilcox saying good night to all of you from all of us.
Let's face it, how many people have bragged a time or two and it ends up costing them in the long run? From 80 years ago, March 2nd, 1945, Amos and Andy here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Tomorrow, on our Monday show, we'll have more comedy with an episode of the Screen Director's Playhouse from 75 years ago, The Paleface, loosely adapted from the movie starring Bob Hope and Jane Russell, starring Bob and Jane. Also, we'll have an episode of You Bet Your Life starring Groucho Marx from 1958, Fibber McGee and Molly from 1942, and Abbott and Costello in another Sam Shovel mystery from 1949. And we'll wrap it all up with Claudia. That's all coming up on our Monday show. On Tuesday, more comedy with the Ford Theater presentation of The Horn Blows at Midnight, starring the original star from the motion picture, Benjamin Kubelski, Jack Benny. That's from 1949. Also, an episode of the new Edgar Bergen Hour with Charlie McCarthy, and another episode of Superman. That's coming up on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we'll get into drama with Gunsmoke Out West, Calling All Cars, also from the West Coast. Did Justice Triumph? Also, The Adventures of Frank Merriwell, both those shows produced out of New York City, and another episode of Lum and Abner. That's all coming up this week. But coming up next, Phil and Alice.
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
The international struggles of our world may lead to nuclear holocaust. To survive, you must have protection from radioactive fallout.
In the past, heavy equipment necessitated a long, costly operation for out-of-home shelter installation.
Today, Survivall basement-type shelters offer a combination steel and concrete do-it-yourself fallout shelter.
Civil Defense approved, Survivall offers maximum protection from fallout and falling debris, plus a basic equipment kit for family survival.
There's low initial cost and FHA approval. Nothing down and 5 years to pay.
For your family's protection, see a Survivall shelter today.
Yes, making a buck out of nuclear war. The Survivall fallout shelters. If you want to read about them, check the show notes or visit our webpage. Would love to have you go do that as well. ClassicRadio.stream. All right, now an episode of the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show 73 years ago, March 2nd, 1952. And Phil and Alice are going to Las Vegas.
RCA Victor, world leader in radio, first in recorded music and first in television, presents transcribed the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show. For your enjoyment, here is the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show, written by Ray Singer and Dick Chevrolet, with Elliot Lewis, Walter Tetley, Robert North, Janine Roos, Ann Whitfield, Walter Sharp in his music, and yours truly, Bill Foreman. The friendship between Phil and Frankie has defied the wear and tear of time. But tonight, a most unexpected turn of events puts that friendship to a severe test. More about that later, but first a word from RCA Victor. There's one big reason why you should buy RCA Victor television. It's simply this. RCA Victor television is the best. An RCA Victor superset, like the Colby table model, for example, is the best you can buy. And the reason for that is easy to explain, too. The pictures you get on the Colby's 17-inch picture tube are clearer, brighter, and steadier. The Colby brings you television with picture power. You get the best reception possible, even in difficult reception areas. Yet you can buy the Colby now at the wonderful low price of only $229.95. And remember, all RCA Victor prices are complete. There are no extras to pay. The price includes federal tax, full-year warranty on the picture tube, and no extra charge for mahogany finishes. So buy RCA Victor television with RCA factory service. It's television's greatest combination. And now the stars of the RCA Victor program, Alice Faye and Phil Harris. Phil had decided to take Alice and Frankie to Las Vegas for the weekend. However, Alice has talked Phil out of taking Frankie along.
Say, Phil, did you call Frankie and tell him you changed your mind and he's not going with us?
No, honey, I didn't call him yet. I tried to call him yesterday, but he wasn't at home. Oh. His butler told me he was dining at the club.
Oh, I see. Hold it, Buster. What butler?
Well, he's not exactly a butler. He's the janitor at the municipal lodging house.
Oh, Frankie's townhouse. Now, what's this routine, Phil, about Frankie's club?
That's no routine. Every Sunday, Remley dines at the Salvation Army soup kitchen.
Phil, you go in and call him right now. Or are you afraid to tell him?
Am I afraid to tell him? I ain't afraid to tell nobody nothing. That's no big problem. Remley will understand. He's not the kind of a guy that would mind. He's not gonna... come in.
Hiya, Curly.
Oh, hello, Remley. Glad you came over, kid. About Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'm all packed and I put my bags in your car.
Frankie,
we're going to have a wonderful time. But remember, we're going in your car and I insist we share traveling expenses 3 ways. You buy the oil, Alice will take care of the gas, and I'll pay for the air and the tires. The 3 of us will have a gay time.
Frankie.
Ma'am?
There's been a change in plans. Only 2 are going.
Well, gee, Alice, that's wonderful of you, letting me and Curly go to Vegas alone. Come on, Curly, let's get started.
Okay, Frankie, my bags are all packed. So long, Alice. Don't do any heavy lifting while I'm gone.
Now you come back here.
I thought I'd try. Look, Remley, I've got an unpleasant duty to perform. Alice has decided not to take you to Las Vegas.
Why not?
Well, if you must know, I want to be alone with the man I love.
She's not taking you either, huh, Curly?
I'm taking Phil. You're the one that's not going.
Curly, you can't let her do this to me. I'm all ready to leave. I got my bags packed, and I've been looking forward to spending time at the gambling tables at the Last Frontier. On the way over, I stopped at the bank and got this big roll. Look.
Hey, look at that roll. 50 pennies.
Not only that, I went out and bought special gaming equipment, and now I can't go.
Well, I'm sorry, Remley. What special equipment?
A roulette wheel magnet. Jackpot Jimmy. And some lead weights for loose dice.
Oh, aren't you taking your stocking mask and gun?
Please, I'm not a bandit. I'm just a crooked gambler. Curly, why don't you force Alice to take me?
How can I force her?
Beat up on her, and while she's unconscious, we'll skip.
All right, will you stop with all that? If I have to choose between you and my wife, I'm going with my wife. I mean, you understand that, don't you?
Yes. I understand all too well. I never wanted to say this, Curly, but for quite some time now, I've had a feeling that Alice is replacing me in your affection.
How How can you say that? Just because I married Alice instead of you doesn't mean anything. Frankie, you're taking a very unreasonable attitude.
Unreasonable, he says. This isn't just a thing that's happened suddenly. This is something you've been building up to for years. You never did like me, did you?
What are you talking about?
Don't feign innocence. Now I see through all those nasty little things you've done to me for the last 25 years.
What nasty thing?
Things like feeding me at your house, buying my clothes, paying me as a guitarist when you know I can't play a note. The whole thing was just a plot to undermine my initiative. You just wanted to make me dependent upon you. And now that I am, I want you to know one thing.
What?
I ain't gonna give it up. And another thing, that vacation of mine that you paid for last summer, why'd you do that? Why? Why?
Because the doctor said you needed the cure.
For 2 whole weeks I had to go without a drink, you curly-headed Carrie Nation, you.
I think you're nothing but an ingrate.
Well, that's the way you feel about me. You don't have to see me anymore, Mr. Harris.
That suits me fine, Mr. Remley. You can go anytime you want.
I'm leaving right now. But before I go, I want you to know something. I hate you. I hate your wife, I hate your children, and if I see your dog, I'll kick him. Goodbye.
Au revoir.
You'll never see me in this house again.
Good riddance.
Phil, did he say he's never coming to our house again?
That's what he said.
Glorioski! Now we can live like human beings again. Oh, gosh, we could take the booby trap off our liquor cabinet, and gosh,
All
we
right,
could
all right. Well, I'm glad he's gone.
Glad? I'm ecstatic. Oh, what a beautiful morning.
Alice.
Oh, what a beautiful day.
Alice. Alice.
Oh.
That's not the song you rehearsed.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll do the one I did rehearse.
Please.
Okay, all right.
Why don't we go walking tonight while the moon is shining the lovely light? You can tell at a glance it's a night for romance.
The night is long, the skies are clear, and if you want to go walking, dear, it's delightful, it's delicious, it's lovely. I understand the reason why you're sentimental, 'cause so am I. It's delightful, it's delicious, it's lovely. You can tell at a glance what a swell night this is. Romance you can hear dear Mother Nature murmuring low. Let yourself go, so please be sweet, my chickadee. And when I kiss you, just say to me, it's delightful, it's delicious, it's delectable, it's delirious, it's dilemma, it's the limit, it's deluxe, it's lovely.
It's delightful, it's delicious, it's delectable, it's delirious, and the night is young. The skies are clear, and if you want to go walking, dear,
it's delightful, it's delicious, it's lovely.
I understand the reason why you're sentimental, 'cause so am I.
It's delightful, it's delicious, it's lovely. You can tell at a glance what a swell night this is for romance. You can hear dear Mother Nature murmuring low.
Let yourself go, so please be sweet, my chickadee.
And when I kiss you, just say to me, it's delightful, it's delicious, delectable, delirious. It's the limit, it's the limit, it's deluxe, it's lovely. Well, Phil, now that you've broken with Frankie, don't you feel better?
Yeah, I certainly do.
Yeah.
I'm glad I broke up with him. It's the best thing that ever happened to me. I'll never have to see him again. Oh, Alice, I'm so unhappy. I'm so lonesome. I don't know.
Oh, for heaven's sake, stop acting like a baby. Just because... Phil, what are those things you've got there? What's that bundle of papers you're pressing to your heart?
Little mementos that Frankie's given me over a period of years.
Well, I'll be darned. He's got them tied with a blue ribbon yet. What are they?
IOUs. Hey, honey, look at all these presents he's given me. Last Christmas, he gave me this beautiful warp pool cue. And then for Thanksgiving, he gave me this lovely turkey bladder.
Oh.
He said that was for my debut in television.
Oh, Phil, why torture yourself?
Hey, honey, here's the thing that I treasure most. Frankie gave me this in 1943. It was something that was sent to him, but as soon as he got it, he rushed right over and gave it to me, and he said, Curly, I'd rather you have this than me.
What is it?
His draft notice.
Well, he certainly has been good to you, Phil. Look, honey, if you feel so upset about splitting up with Frankie, why don't you go over and make up with him?
Not in a million years. He's nothing but an ungrateful, no-good, low-down moocher, and I'm going to tell everybody what he's really like.
Now, Phil, that isn't nice. And besides, it's not like you. You shouldn't blacken Frankie's character just because you had a fight. He wouldn't do that to you. There's one thing I can say about Frankie. He's not the least bit vindictive.
Here you are, folks. Read all about it. Get your copy of the Phil Harris expose. Buy this booklet fresh off the press. Read the shocking true story of this despicable monster. It'll make you shudder when you...
Mr. Remley, what are you selling?
Beat it, kid. This is for adults only.
What's them booklets about?
Julius, in this book you'll find some of the most sordid, gory, and nauseating details ever printed.
Oh, it's the story of your life, huh?
No, it's the complete, uncensored story of Phil Harris's life.
You're allowed to sell this in broad daylight? Are the facts in this booklet really true?
Of course they are. These are the true confessions of Mr. Harris as told to me in the strictest confidence. I wrote down every word just as he said it. Look at this chapter. My early days as a peeping Tom. Yeah, this one's a beaut. My start as a pyromaniac, or how to rub two sticks together to start a fire in an old lady's home.
That's him, all right.
Yeah, that's just about his early life. There are a few chapters on his present activities, too. Here's a choice one. How I trained my wife to be the head of the alien smuggling racket.
Mr. Remley, I don't believe these things about Mr. Harris. They're all a pack of lies, ain't they?
Yeah, but what's that got to do with it?
Why are you doing this to Mr. Harris? He's your friend.
He used to be. We are no longer on speaking terms.
You mean you's as fifted?
Yep.
Oh, that's terrible. Well, you guys separated, this town ain't gonna seem the same.
What do you mean?
We'll miss the familiar sight of you two walking home at night, leaning against each other. It always amazed me the way you two synchronized your staggering.
Yeah. We were a well-matched team, weren't we? Ah, what's the use? I miss Curly. We're like brothers. Hey, look, kid, do me a favor. I want you to go over and tell Curly I want to be friends with him again.
Go and tell him yourself.
Well, I would, but I can't do it myself. After all, I'm proud.
Of what?
I mean, I got my pride.
It don't show, believe me.
Now, please, look. Just go over and tell Curly I think he's a sweet guy, a wonderful person. I'm sorry I've ever done anything to hurt him.
All right, I'll tell him.
Oh, that's sweet of you, kid. I realize Curly and I have been nasty to you at times, but...
Say no more. That's in the past. I've already forgotten the time you two guys threw me in the cement mixer. Or the time you tried to blow me up in the oven. Or that occasion when you did your best to drown me in the kitchen. Them things just roll off my back like glue. There's one thing about me, I ain't vindictive.
Hey, Julius, you mean that you have a message for me from Mr. Remley?
Yeah, he said he's sorry the whole thing happened. He wants to be your friend again because he likes you.
He said that?
Yeah. He said he thinks more of you than any other gigolo who lives off his wife's...
He called me a gigolo? Well, that's a nasty thing to say.
This gets nastier as it goes along. But he says he's sorry for the way he acted and he's willing to arrange a truce with you.
He is? Well, if he's sorry, tell him I'm willing to sign a truce with him.
Not so fast. He has a few stipulations.
What stipulations?
You gotta deposit $10,000 to his account, divorce your wife, sell your 2 kids, and turn your band over to him.
What? Of all the nerve, expecting me to turn my band over to him.
Selling your 2 kids don't bother you, huh? And you don't mind divorcing your wife?
My band I've had for 20 years. Alice is comparatively new. I say new. Look, Julius, you go back and tell Mr. Remley that if I ever meet him on the street, I'm going to punch...
Phil, what are you yelling about? What's wrong?
Oh, it's Remley. He's going around calling me names and saying nasty things about me. Well, he just don't care about me anymore.
Oh, Phil, you and Frankie are acting like children. I guarantee if anything would have happened to you, he'd be the first one over here to offer his help.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Well, I'll prove it. If you were to pretend something happened to you...
Like what?
Well, like breaking your leg. I'm sure he'd come right over.
Well, I doubt it, but it's worth a try. All right, you go get Remley over here, and I'll pretend my leg is broken.
Good. I'll go call Frankie and tell him about your leg.
Now, wait a minute, Alice. Wait, hold it a minute. Wait. Remley's a peculiar guy. He may not want to spend the car fare just for a broken leg. We got to make it serious. Look, tell him, I'll tell you what you tell him. You tell him that I contracted a rare disease and I'm dying.
Well, that's going a little far, but if it'll bring you two together, I'll do it. I'll be right back, honey.
Gee, that Remley and I might get together again. Oh, boy. Well, I'm so happy I don't know what to do.
Why don't you sing? That'll make it realistic.
What do you mean?
Well, you're supposed to be dying. You might as well sound like it. Go ahead.
You get a line and I'll get a pole, honey. You get a line and I'll get a pole, babe. You get a line and I'll get a pole, and we'll go down to the crawdad hole, honey, baby mine. Yonder come a man with a sack on his back, honey. Yonder come a man with a sack on his back, babe. Yonder come a man with a sack on his back, got more crawdads than he can pack, honey, baby mine. That man fell down and busted his sack, honey. That man fell down and busted his sack, babe. That man fell down and busted his sack. Just watch him crawdads back and back, honey, baby mine. I sell my crawdads 3 for a dime, honey. Sell my crawdads 3 for a dime, babe. Sell my crawdads 3 for a dime. Ain't no crawdads as good as mine, honey, baby mine. What are you gonna do when you lose your pole, honey? What are you gonna do when you lose your pole, babe? What are you gonna do when you lose your pole? Just sit and look down that crawdad hole, honey, baby mine. What are you gonna do when the creek runs dry, honey? What are you gonna do when the creek runs dry, babe? What are you gonna do when the creek runs dry? Just sit and watch them crawdads die, honey, baby mine. get up, Kate, you slept too late, honey. Oh, get up, Kate, you slept too late, babe. Now get up, Kate, you slept too late. That crawdad man done passed your gate, honey. Baby mine. Well, Julius, how'd you like the song?
Not being a crawdad, I couldn't say.
Say, Phil, I was right. I called Frankie and told him, and he said he was coming right over, and you shouldn't die until he gets here.
Ah, good old Frankie. I might have known that he wouldn't let me down. He's a good boy, old Frankie.
You bet. I told you he'd come through. Now, here, look, lie down on the couch and look like you're dying. I'll put a little powder on your face and make you look real pale. Julius, you better run along.
Okay. I gotta keep them two guys apart. If they ever get together again, my little life will be shortened by about 20 years. I feel like a rat doing this, but it's a question of survival. I gotta get to Mr. Remley before he...
Hello, Julius. Tell me, kid, am I on time? How's my pal Curly?
He's pretty bad. I wouldn't go in if I was you. He's a gory sight to behold.
Gory? Alice told me he had a jungle disease.
That's just it. One of his pink elephants stepped on him.
Oh, why didn't he listen to me and have his trained like I did? Now, one side, if my pal's dying, I gotta go see him.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Huh?
There ain't nothing wrong with him. He's just putting on an act to get your sympathy and make you come crawling back to him.
So that's it. Well, two can play at that game. I can die just as well as he can. I'll go and teach him a lesson. Thanks, kid.
That's all right. Anything to help you guys.
Oh, Frankie. Frankie, you're just in time. Go inside and see him.
All right. I'll try to drag my pain-racked body in there.
Phil, Frankie is here.
Oh. Hello, Frankie.
Hello, Curly.
Frankie, I got awful news for you. I'm dying.
So am I.
My doctor's given me 24 hours to live.
My doctor only gave me an hour.
I must have a better doctor. Of course, the doctor said I could go within 10 minutes.
I could go in 5.
I'm going now. I'm going. Frankie, say something.
I can't. I just went.
Now, wait a minute. You can't die before me.
Why can't I? Why do you always have to be first?
Because I'm the leader.
All right. If you want to die first, go ahead. But hurry it up. I ain't got all day.
Frankie, how can you be so callous at a time like this?
What?
Your very best friend is about to pass on to the happy hunting ground, to that place in the great beyond from whence there is no return. He is outward bound to greener pastures, leaving me alone.
How do you like that? I'm dying and she's trying for an Academy Award. Betty, will you get down? Frankie, you listen to me, pal. I'm going, but I have one thing to say before I... Oops, it's too late. I feel myself slipping away. Here I go. Goodbye, Frankie. Goodbye, Alice. Shake hands with the kids and kiss the maid goodbye for me. Farewell. Oh,
Frankie, he's gone.
Yeah. My best pal is gone. Alice, words fail me, but there's one thing that I want to say to you, his widow.
What's that, Frankie?
Alice, will you marry me? Pack up your money in my old...
Hold it! Back? Yes, I'm back. This is the last straw, Remley. This proves you don't care for me at all. I was only pretending I was dying to get your reaction.
Curly, I knew you were pretending. Julius told me. I was only pretending, too.
You mean you were kidding me all the time?
Sure.
Hey, it's good to have you back again, pal.
Good to be back, chum. Let's not ever be this silly again.
Nah. Let's act like grown-ups from now on. Yeah. Hey, Rem. How'd you like that deathbed scene I did?
That was fair.
What do you mean fair? It was great. It was better than yours.
It was not.
Fellas.
Look, when I was breathing my last, did you ever hear such a realistic gurgle?
Realistic? I heard better gurgles out of a cheap bottle of wine.
Look, don't make fun of my gurgle. I'll punch you right in the nose.
Now,
I'd like to see you try
I'll be glad to. Just step outside. I know whether I got a good
What are you
gurgle. Now, what are you talking about?
Alice and Phil will be back in just a moment. It's something new and something different. An album of records you'll want to own, to play again and again. The title is Ezio Pinza in Opera, Broadway, and Hollywood. And it's a great new RCA Victor album release. Ezio Pinza is represented in a triple light, an all-round versatile artist of opera, screen, and Broadway shows. As you would expect, he sings beautifully selections from Marriage of Figaro and The Barber of Seville, and songs like So in Love from Broadway's Kiss Me Kate, and The Way You Look Tonight from the movie Swing Time. And yet there are more songs from opera, Broadway, and Hollywood, all wrapped up in this one RCA Victor album, all sung by the magnificent Ezio Pinza. So stop in at your nearest record dealers tomorrow and get your album copy of Ezio Pinza in opera, Broadway, and Hollywood. It's unforgettable music, superbly sung by Ezio Pinza and recorded by RCA Victor.
Folks, this is Phil again. Our hearts go out to those in need. We hurry to answer a neighbor's call. We help a stranger at our door. But how can we answer a need hundreds of miles away? Well, we can when we answer the call of our Red Cross. The Red Cross means trained, capable people on the scene when need is greatest. So give from your heart when the Red Cross calls on you this month. Will you do that for us? Good night and thanks.
Good night, everybody.
This program is produced and transcribed by Paul Phillips. The part of Frankie Remley was played by Elliot Lewis, and Julius was played by Walter Tetley. Remember, whether you're buying a television set, a radio, a Victrola phonograph, or records, put your faith in the cornerstone of American home entertainment for 3 generations. RCA Victor, world leader in radio, first in television.
73 years ago, March 2nd, 1952, Phil Harris and Alice Faye on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. So tell me, who do you want to hear? Do you want to hear us do compilation specials of people like Elliot Lewis or Walter Tetley in shows that they're not particularly known for? Would you like to hear maybe some Chester Morris or many of the other people that didn't have starring roles, but here's some of them featured in some of these shows? Let me know. Contact us, classicradio.stream, classicradio.stream. You can contact us through Facebook, through Twitter, or our email address is there as well. Coming up next, The Charlie McCarthy Show starring Edgar Bergen.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
The threat of fire in our homes is always with us. It's a good idea to know how to deal with it. For fire to burn, 3 things are necessary: fuel, heat, and air. Take any one away, and no flames. Most small fires can be put out by cooling, dousing them with water, or by smothering, taking the air away. Another method is to get the blaze outside. Take the fuel away by using a broom or other tool. So remember, a fire needs heat, fuel, and air. Take any one away, and no fire.
Now, as the comedy continues on this Sunday edition of Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the Edgar Bergen Charlie McCarthy Show. This is from 78 years ago, March 2nd, 1947, with guests Nelson Eddy and Chester Morris.
Makers of Chase and Sanborn Coffee bring you the Charlie McCarthy Show. This is Ken Carpenter, ladies and gentlemen, greeting you on behalf of Edgar Bergen, Charlie McCarthy, Ray Noble of his orchestra, Lita Gordon, Mortimer Snart, Pat Patrick, Jack Crucian, and our guests for this evening, Nelson Eddy and Chester Morris. And here is Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy.
Hello, Bergen.
Yeah.
Hello, Bergen.
Charlie?
Yes, sir.
I might as well tell you right now that I haven't been at all pleased with your conduct lately.
You haven't, sir?
No.
Why?
Well, you've been telling entirely too many lies.
I don't actually lie, Mr. Bergen. I just transpose the truth into another key.
Yeah. Amounts to the same thing.
Yes, sir.
Look at George Washington.
Where?
No. Why, he was famous for never telling a lie.
Well, let him stick to his racket and I'll stick to mine.
Yeah. There, now, you see? You not only fib, but you're impudent about it.
No. Well, maybe I am, but really deep down inside of me, I mean all right.
I doubt it.
What do you want, an X-ray?
You don't even make an effort to avoid telling lies.
Oh, but I do. Really, I do.
You do?
Yes, sir. I have tried. God knows I've tried. I've tapered off.
You have?
Yeah. Well, I've even written to Liars Anonymous for help.
You have, yeah. Well, I've spanked you and I've spanked you, but it did no good.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. You needed the exercise.
Oh. Well, Charlie, I'm going to help you.
Good.
From now on, you will have to pay me 10 cents a lie for every lie you tell.
Help me?
Yeah.
You ain't doing so bad for yourself, are you there?
Nevertheless, it's 10 cents a lie.
Couldn't you make me a better rate?
No.
3 for a quarter.
No.
6 for a half.
No.
I'm a big consumer, you know.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Charlie.
Oh, gee. Well, if it's wrong for me to tell a lie, then it's wrong for you, too. Now, isn't it, Bergen?
Well, of course it is.
Well, then this thing should work both ways, shouldn't it?
Yes.
What's sauce for the goose is cranberries for the turkey.
Yeah. That's okay with me. But now watch your step from now on.
Yeah. You're going to get the truth, Bergen, if I have to lie to do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right. Now, I have a few questions.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Our cook tells me that she left a pie on the windowsill to cool.
Uh-huh.
And she said that it was about...
Never mind the details. What? Here's your dime.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It was worth it.
Yeah. Now, tell me, Charlie, did you sneak in the back way of the Bijou Theater last night?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Of course not.
No.
Why?
Well, I just happened to be across the street at the time.
Touche.
Yeah.
You can't buck evidence like that.
Yeah.
Here's another dime.
Yeah, thank you. You know, it hurts me more than it does you taking your money.
Oh, wow. For a whopper like that, you ought to pay $1.
All right. And another thing.
Yeah.
Were you in school every day last week?
Yes, sir.
Every day last week?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, honest I was. If I'm lying, may the roof fall in on me. Are you wise guy? Someday I'm going to get that sound effects man.
All right. Now go ahead. What about school?
Well, I will admit I was a little late Wednesday.
You were a little late Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
How late?
About 2 days.
2 days. Just as I thought. Now, do you know what happened to my tennis racket?
Durgan, has anyone ever told you how handsome you look these last few days?
No, really?
Yeah. I just love the way you comb your head.
All right, answer my questions.
Oh, questions. What about me?
Well, what about you?
Oh, don't you think it's about my turn at bat?
All right.
Answer me this, Durgan.
Yes?
Shouldn't I be entitled to half the dough you collect for us every week?
Well, that answer, of course, depends on many things that have to be taken into consideration.
Yeah, well, just give me the answer straight.
All right.
No chaser.
All right.
Shouldn't we split the dough?
Charlie, now, let's be big about this thing.
I'm willing.
Let's forget the whole thing.
Huh?
Now, just as a little token of my friendship, here's $1 for you.
Yeah, sir, you cannot buy my honor that cheap.
I see. Well, I never would stoop to bribing you.
Okay, then I got some more embarrassing questions.
No, Charlie. Why, look, Charlie, there's $5 on the floor.
Yeah?
Yes. It must have fallen out of your pocket, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a workable arrangement, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I won't have any more trouble with you.
Not a bit. Not until next Sunday.
Here's Ray Noble's orchestra and Anita Gordon with a vocal to bring you their special arrangement of My Pretty Girl. You think Chase and Sanborn. When you taste Chase and Sanborn, that's shade-grown flavor. Yes, it's a bonus of flavor put into the coffee beans by slow-growing in tropical shade. And you taste it in the first sip of Chase and Sanborn, in every swallow you take. It's there in lavish, overwhelming abundance, extra rich, supremely delicious. All you want is more of the same. Shade-grown means slow-grown, and that makes a tremendous difference in the flavor of coffee. Growing time is flavor-making time. A little more and a little more flavor is stored up in the coffee each day. The constant glare of the tropical sun would make coffee grow too fast. So these finer coffees are planted under taller, arching shade trees. The sunlight is filtered. The coffee gets just enough, and you get the extra flavor. Get shade-grown flavor every time and enjoy it to the full. Ask your grocer for Chase and Sanborn, the coffee with shade-grown flavor.
Oh, shoeshine boy, doody-doody. Oh, shoeshine boy, doody-doody.
Well, Mortimer, you arrived on the dot.
No. On the bus.
Yeah, hey, what's that box you're carrying there?
Well, that's for shining shoes, Mr. Bergen.
Ah.
Yeah, how about a free shine for 10 cents?
Oh, I see. So now you're shining shoes.
Yep. Yep, that's the way it goes.
Yeah. Well, what made you take that up?
Well, you told me if I wanted to be somebody, I'd have to have polish.
Well, that's right.
I got it all over me now.
Yeah. Well, you're always trying a different job, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. I reckon I'm a jerk of all trades, all right. Yep, that's the way it goes. Yep.
Well,
oh, hush up out there.
Well, at least you're showing initiative.
I
say at least you're showing initiative.
Oh, is that darn thing showing again?
I mean, you never quit trying, do you?
No. Well, it's like they say, you know. They always say, let's see. They say they always they say. Well, they probably don't say it anymore.
Well, what was the saying?
Oh, you know, it's if at first you don't succeed, hickory dickory dock. Oh, quit tittering out there.
Now, don't talk like that to the people. We owe these people a lot.
We do?
Yes.
Well, let's pay them off and send them home.
Now, let's get back to your shoe shining business.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Ask me what my slogan is.
Your slogan?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you have a slogan?
Boy, I got a funny slogan.
All right. What is your slogan?
Well, get a shine.
Get a shine.
Yeah. Don't treat your feet like dogs. I made that up.
Yeah. Well, a shine does make a man feel well dressed.
Well, you gotta wear more than that.
Yeah. Maybe Ray Noble would like a shine. Oh, Ray.
Yes, Edgar, old boy.
Mortimer's in the shoe shining business.
Oh, how jolly.
Yeah. Sure.
I say, Mortimer, what would your price be to me? I mean, me being a friend of yours, you know.
Oh, there's no extra charge for that. 15 cents for one shoe and 10 cents for two.
Yes, but look here. You mean that the more feet, the less you charge?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yesterday, I almost went bankruptcy.
Why was that?
Well, a fella came along who was a 6-footer. A 6-footer.
I guess no one in the world is as stupid as you.
Well, it's because they just give up too easy.
Oh, I see.
Surely a good boy like you can't have any trouble.
Oh, but I do have, Anita. I tell you, I get into more trouble than Br'er Rabbit.
Well, what is it this time?
Well, I was just tuning up Bergen's car, you know, and I was just giving it a little test run. You know, you have to do that, you know, to get it working right. When along comes Nelson Eddy, see, and he asked me to drive him home. Well, now, you know I am nothing if not courteous. So I drove him home, but we smashed into a fire hydrant.
Oh, no, Charlie, how could you?
It was easy.
Oh, well, what do you think Mr. Bergen will do?
Well, for one thing, he's going to walk. Now, Anita, you run along, because here comes Nelson Eddy, and I got to talk to him.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Hello, Charlie.
Oh, you're just the man I want to see. Nelson Eddy.
Charlie, I don't suppose you've had time to have Edgar's car fixed.
It ain't the time that's been holding me back. And, Mr. Eddy, inasmuch as I was driving you home at the time when the accident happened, don't you think that maybe you...
Oh, no, I don't.
You don't? Well, after all, you did grab the wheel when I was driving.
So?
So you ought to grab part of the expense.
I was only trying to keep the one out of two from being you.
Oh.
Where's the car now?
I had it towed over to Skinny Dugan's backyard.
Oh, Nelson, Charlie, I have just discovered that my car is missing.
Oh, maybe you just mislaid it.
No, I tell you, somebody stole it.
Oh, don't worry, Edgar. Leave it alone and it'll come home.
Wagging its taillight behind it.
Well, I can see I'm not going to get any help from you two.
No, sir.
So I'm going to phone and I'm going to report it to the police.
Yeah. Mr. Eddy, we got to work fast. You got to think of something, Eddy.
Yeah, well, I can think better when I'm singing.
Yeah, well, don't sing too loud or you can't hear yourself think.
When the Rangers come to town to settle up or settle down, they're in their heyday, because it's payday. There's a bottle left, a joke, a heck of a night, and then we're broke. We know tomorrow we'll have to borrow. We find there's consolation when we haven't got a dime. Our job's a great vacation and a darn good time. We're all pals together, comrades, birds of a feather, rootin' pals, tootin' pals, scootin' pals, shootin' pals, in rain or sunshine. Pals say they're brother, hold for each other. When you roll your own, you're not alone, for when you belong to the Lone Star Rangers, man to man. Birds of a feather, rootin', tootin', scootin', shootin', in rain or sunshine. Pals say they're brother, hold for each other. When you roll your own, you're not alone, for when you belong to the Lone Star Rangers, man to man.
Well, Mr. Eddy, did you think us out of our trouble, or do you have to do an encore?
Hey, I got a great idea.
Good.
Look, does Edgar have any insurance?
Yeah. You mean, oh, no, we couldn't bump off Bergen. No,
Charlie. No. I'm talking about accident insurance.
Oh.
All we do is take Edgar's policy to the insurance company, file a claim, and presto.
We get 6 months in jail, yeah.
No, we get the money.
Uh-oh.
But I'll have to pretend I'm Bergen.
Well, let's go, alias Bergen. Well, now, this must be the place, because here's a sign on the door. It says, "The accidents will happen insurance company." Yeah.
Now, I wonder where we can find the claim adjuster.
Well, that's an important-looking man. Why don't you ask him, Mr. Eddie?
Oh, pardon me. Are you the claim adjuster?
Nope, I'm
Why, he has lower lip wobble, hasn't he?
Sir, can you direct us to the claim department?
Well, sorry, but I just started working here. I'm from Washington. But I think it's the man over there by the window, working his head off.
Well, let's go before you work your head off here.
Pardon me, sir. Are you the adjuster?
Well, some people call me that, and some people call me Chester Morris.
Well, I'm Nelson...
Speak right up, Mr. Bergen.
Yes, I'm Edgar Bergen.
Well, your face is familiar. I said your face is familiar, but I don't recognize the hair.
He only wears it in the winter.
Well, if you're Edgar Bergen, say something without moving your lips.
You see, he did it.
We'd like to file a claim for damages.
I see. Is the amount under $10, or am I going to have trouble?
Well, here's a list of the stuff that's busted.
Uh-huh. Now, that will cost about...
$80.
No coaching, please. We'll allow you $5.
What are you trying to do?
Isn't it obvious?
Yeah.
Now, let's forget the money for the nonce.
Let's forget the nonsense and give us the money.
All right, now, let's fill out the claim report.
Yes, sir.
Oh, dear, this is so complicated.
Pardon me, but you're holding it upside down.
Oh, so I am. Well, here we are. Now, cause of the crash?
A fire hydrant was jaywalking.
Did you signal the fire plug?
Yes, we blew the horn.
And the fire plug blew its top.
Well, that's city property.
Sure.
Did you get anything from the city?
We got a free wash job, yeah.
Mr. Bergen, were you at the wheel?
Occasionally.
Mm-hmm. Do you have witnesses?
Fortunately, no.
Were you on a straight road, curved, or at an intersection?
We were on the sidewalk.
Now, when did you first see the fire plug?
Now, I'd say we were about 20 feet away as the crow flies.
Yeah.
Oh, you were coming in for a landing.
Pardon the intrusion, but I saw your sign saying adjustments, and I thought you might do something about this dreadful crick in my neck.
Well... The chiropractor is down on the next floor.
Oh, very well. I'll wait for him.
But he's been down there for 13 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll just sit here. He should be through pretty soon now.
Now, let me see. Where were we?
Excuse me, are you the insurance adjuster?
Yes, I'm the... Yes, miss, but you can call me Chester. Mm-hmm. Or better yet, call me Chet.
Well, now, that ain't fair, Chet. We were here...
It's Mr. Morris.
What again?
What do you mean by crowding ahead of a lady?
Crowding? How do you...
Yes. And now, what can I do for you, miss?
Well, I stopped my car suddenly,
Yes?
and my poor little Mopsy fell off the seat and sprained her foot.
Oh.
And who is Mopsy?
She's my little Mexican Chihuahua.
You mean you have a chihuahua? Wow, 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 wow.
Oh, yes. I love dogs.
Oh.
I could just hug everyone I see. Poor Mopsy. She's so upset she won't eat her caviar.
Well, try her with a crepe Suzette.
Let me ask you something. What gear were you in at the time of the accident?
I was wearing my green sweater and my orchid clam diggers.
Oh, I see. You were in high gear. Well, I personally think you should have at least $100. Yes, and if you need any more, just call on me.
Oh, thank you so much.
Not at all.
Goodbye.
Hey, I didn't know you paid off so promptly.
No. I didn't... Ma'am.
Yes.
My name, my name is Ursel Twing.
Yeah.
And that's right, And I'm here tonight.
Where did you come from?
Well, Smarty, if you must know, the stork brought me.
Really?
Well, what's your complaint?
Well, I own a trailer frame, and, well, I don't really own it either exactly, because I have 7 more payments before I get, if you will pardon the expression, the pink slip.
Go on.
Well, last night my trailer was robbed, and what I'd like to know is, can I recover?
Well, let's hope so. You can't always look this bad.
No.
You know.
Well, you can't tell. Well, I was just putting on my flannel nightgown, or was it the cotton? No, I was wearing pajamas.
All right, come on, get to the point.
Well, I am. A robber pointed a pistol right at me, and he said, reach for the ceiling.
And you did?
That's what he said. And I tried to, but I couldn't reach it even when I stood way up on the tip-tops of my tippy toes.
Well, why didn't you call for help?
Well, you know how it is these days. Nobody wants to work.
Oh, sure. You've certainly had more than your share of trouble.
Oh, yes, I know. I really have. And as I fled from the intruders, I struck my crazy bone, too.
Well, you must hurt all over.
Oh, yes. Oh, for heaven's sake, my gosh, yes. I'm just so nervous and twitchy, I must run right out and get a cup of ginger tea. Goodbye.
It's easy today for everybody to get more delicious coffee. Just ask for Chase and Sanborn, the coffee with shade-grown flavor. Yes, that's the system all over the country, so easy that nobody needs to miss out. In the past year, more people enjoyed Chase and Sanborn than ever before, and shade-grown flavor explains that preference. Everybody wants it. There's more flavor there to enjoy. Naturally, more people enjoy it. You notice the abundance of richer coffee goodness the moment Chase and Sanborn passes your lips. It's so impressive, you want to know where so much flavor comes from. Well, it's from finer coffees, slow-grown in cool, dewy, tropical shade. That's the secret of the flavor bonus, the reason for its fame. The coffee is planted under taller, leafy shade trees, and there it grows slowly, matures completely. Each day it stores up more shade-grown flavor, the making of Chase and Sanborn. Remember, by the cup you call it coffee. By the pound, it's Chase and Sanborn. Ask for Chase and Sanborn, the coffee with shade-grown flavor. Be with us again next Sunday when our guest will be Monty Woolley. This week, when you're buying coffee, think of us and ask for Chase and Sanborn, the coffee with shade-grown flavor. Nelson Eddy will soon be seen in the Republic picture End of the Rainbow. Chester Morris appeared through the courtesy of Columbia Pictures and can now be seen in the Columbia Picture Blind Spot. This is Ken Carpenter speaking to you from the Pasadena Playhouse, Pasadena, California. Have you ever served V8 vegetable juices hot as a soup? Most folks are well acquainted with the bracing flavor of chilled V8 as a breakfast juice, as a cocktail before dinner. Perhaps the children have V8 with lunch. Well, here's a brand new way to enjoy that delicious gardeny flavor. Just heat V8, pour into bouillon cups, and serve. Your first spoonful of tempting, fragrant V8 hot will tell you why so many people enjoy its rich, flavory goodness on chilly days. You see, V8 combines the juices of many tasty vegetables fresh from the garden. Juices of carrots, watercress, spinach and beets, tomatoes, celery, lettuce, and parsley. All these juices are so skillfully blended that they actually flavor each other. No wonder V8 Hot as a first course has created such enthusiasm. So tomorrow, get an extra can or two of V8 at your grocer's and try a cup of V8 Hot. Remember, cold or hot, there's a wealth of garden goodness in every delicious sip of V8 vegetable juices.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
78 years ago, March 2nd, 1947, Charlie McCarthy on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Coming up next, Superman.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses, so don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
If you are planning a new building, the architect can make inexpensive changes in his design to shield against the dangers of radioactive fallout. This technique is called design slanting, which simply means designing for added fallout protection without adversely affecting the use, appearance, or cost of a building. To learn more about slanting, contact your local civil defense director.
Okay, we wrap up this Sunday edition of Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox with another episode of Superman. This goes back 83 years to March 2nd, 1942.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman, who can leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice.
And now to our story. Ordered back to Metropolis by an urgent telegram from editor Perry White, Clark Kent, Lois Lane, and young Jimmy Olsen left the Barrow Dude Ranch and caught the Tri-State Limited for the city. En route, Kent received another telegram from Perry White telling him to get off at Walden Junction with Jimmy and instructing Lois to continue on to Metropolis. When no one met them at the Walden Junction station, Kent examined the telegram closely and decided it was a fake. Leaving Jimmy to take the next train, Kent followed the Limited as Superman. Once on board, he resumed his reporter's disguise, only to find that Lois had vanished, was nowhere on the train. At the Daily Planet office, Kent was faced with more mystery. Editor White denied having sent the first telegram summoning them back. Puzzled, Kent was at a loss to explain what had happened to Lois or who was responsible for the mystery, when the phone rang and Lois' excited voice sounded over the wire. "I haven't time to explain," she said. "Everything's all right. I'll call you tomorrow morning at 10. And with that, she hung up. As our story continues today, both Kent and Perry White have spent a sleepless night worrying. It's 5 minutes to 10, and the two men are seated in White's office awaiting Lois's call.
There's something missing in your story, Kent. It just doesn't make sense. I'm the first one to admit that, Mr. White. But there's nothing missing. I told you everything had happened. Well, how did Lois get off the train, as you seem to think she did, if it didn't stop between Walden Junction and Metropolis? I could answer that. I wouldn't be sitting here waiting for a phone call. Yeah, it's a lot of nonsense. She was on that train. You just couldn't find her. Probably didn't want you to find her. Well, now, does that make sense? Well, why not? Maybe she ran across a good story and didn't want you to horn in on it. What about the telegram to the Barrow Ranch? She couldn't have sent that. What about the telegram I received on the train? Wouldn't surprise me if she framed all that up to get you out of the way. I doubt it. That must be Lois. Yeah, I'll take it. Hello?
Mr. White.
Lois, where are you?
I can't tell you now.
What do you mean?
Believe me, I just can't. Is Clark there?
Yes?
Let me speak to him.
You'll finish with me first. Now, look here, young lady.
Please, Mr. White, this is important. Put Clark on.
All right. Here. That anyway. That at least gives us a point.
We've got to work fast.
Now, Lois, wait a minute.
Now, listen to me. I've uncovered the biggest story of the century.
Where are you?
Never mind that now. Listen, I need $20,000 in cash immediately.
I know.
I said that I need $20,000 in cash immediately.
Wait a minute. She says she needs $20,000 immediately. Is she crazy? Let me talk to her. No, wait. Lois, why must you have all that money?
Don't ask questions, Clark. Tell Mr. White that he'll get it back, but I've got to have it by noon today. Send Jimmy with it. Tell him to deliver it to, Now, wait a minute. You'd better let Mr. White bring it himself.
Now, look, Lois.
And stick around the office because I'll have to phone the story into you when it breaks.
Lois, what in heaven's name is
Tell
this?
Mr. White to bring the money to 407 South Street. You got that? Now, I'll be waiting there for him. I've got to go now.
Lois, wait a minute. I want... Lois. Hung up.
What's this about $20,000? Is she out of her mind?
She said you're to deliver it to her at 407 South Street before noon. Yes, and I'm to stay here to get the story when she phones it in.
Story? What story?
I don't know. The biggest story of the century, she said.
No story on earth is worth $20,000.
She said you'd get the money back.
And I'm to deliver it?
Yes, to 407 South Street.
Well, I can promise you it won't leave my hands until I'm certain I'll get it back. How does she want it? Cash or check, did she say?
Cash.
All right. But if this doesn't pan out, Miss Lane is going to be out looking for a job. I'm fed up with her shenanigans.
Lois wouldn't pull anything like this as a joke.
Well, I hope not. I'll have to call Darwin, the cashier, and have him run over to the bank. Did she say anything about big bills or small bills?
No, just $20,000 in cash.
No, this newspaper business is a madhouse. Oh, Miss Harvey, get Darwin, the cashier. Tell him I want to see him immediately. Yes, that's all.
I don't understand what Lois can possibly have up her sleeve. My mind's a complete blank.
If you ask me, hers is, too. But don't worry. Nobody gets a dime of that $20,000 until I see what's what. Come in.
You wanted to see Mr. White?
Yes, Darwin. Come in. You know Clark Kent?
Yes, of course.
Hello, Mr. Darwin.
Darwin, I want you to issue a check for $20,000.
20,000?
Yes. Make it out to me. I'll endorse it. And then send it down to the bank and get it cashed.
You mean you want $20,000 in cash, Mr. White?
Yeah. Have it issued in $1,000 bills. You better hurry. There isn't much time. Well, what are you waiting for?
$20,000 in cash.
I'm in a hurry, Darwin. Get going. Get going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. $20,000.
Now, what was that address, Kent?
407 South Street.
What time is it?
10:15.
She said to deliver the money before noon, didn't she?
Yes. Maybe I'd better go along with you, Mr. White.
What? Don't you think I can be trusted?
Oh, it's not bad, but I just thought...
I won't need any bodyguard. And anyway, you're supposed to stay here to write the story of the century when Lois phones it in. Story of the century. I'll lay 10 to 1 this is all a lot of nonsense.
I don't think so.
We'll find out soon enough. I'm going down for a cup of coffee. You hang around. When Darwin comes back with a check, tell him to wait.
Okay.
If anyone calls, I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Right. What in heaven's name would Lois need with $20,000? Oh, sir, there's something wrong somewhere. Now I'm going to check just for fun. Operator, get me information, please, will you? Thank you. If I only knew how and where she got off that train, I might be able to see...
This is information.
Oh, information. I'd like the telephone number of a house at 407 South Street.
What is the name of the party?
I'm sorry, I don't have the name, just the address. 407 South Street.
One moment.
Thank you. Come in. Oh, yes, Mr. Darwin.
Here's the check for Mr. White to enjoy.
Yes, come in and sit down, will you? Mr. White will be up in a moment.
I'm sorry, sir. We have no number listed for 407 South Street.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. White went down for a cup of coffee, Mr. Darwin. He should be back in a moment.
It's quite all right, Mr. Kent.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you. You excuse me if I seem a little nervous.
Nervous? Oh, what's the trouble?
Well, $20,000 in cash is a lot of money, Mr. Kent.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to go to the bank for it myself. I wouldn't dare trust anyone else. $20,000. I've never seen that much money at one time, ever.
Oh, here's Mr. White.
Oh, yes.
You got that check, Darwin?
Yes, sir, right here.
Good. I'll endorse it. Now, why in tarnation's name that secretary of mine can't learn to keep ink in this desk is beyond me. It's always empty.
Hey, I have a fountain pen, Mr. White.
Thanks. There you are, Darwin.
Now get the cash back to me as fast as you can.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wait a minute. Here's your pen.
Oh, thank you, sir. I wouldn't want to lose it. I always say a man's pen is perhaps the most...
Yes, sir. Yes, of course, Alvin, of course. Now get that check cashed quickly.
I'm going to the bank myself, Mr. White.
Fine, but don't waste any time.
No, sir.
Anyone call, Kent?
No, but I checked on 407 South Street. No phone.
So what? Every house in Metropolis isn't equipped with a telephone.
I know.
Some of them haven't even got bathtubs. Does that surprise you?
You don't seem to be taking this seriously, Mr. White.
Well, what do you want me to do? Call out the state militia?
Well, hardly, but I do wish you'd let me go along with you. After all, $20,000 is a lot of money to be carrying around with you. Anything might happen.
Now, don't worry. Nothing's going to happen.
All right. You're the boss. I got some work to do in my own office. I'll be waiting for the story.
Don't hold your breath.
Well, it's 12 noon. I should have heard from Mr. White or Lois by this time. Wonder whether... Oh, maybe that's the call. Hello?
Kent?
Yes, Mr. White. Well, I wondered what happened to you.
Everything's okay. Lois uncovered a whale of a story.
Oh, that's swell. I'm ready to take it.
We can't give it to you yet.
What?
No. Now, listen.
Yes?
I'll need another $20,000.
Well, what?
Yes, and I must have it fast.
Well, wait a minute now. How am I going to get it? Darwin won't give it to me.
Who?
Darwin, the cashier.
Oh, yes. Well, tell him I said it was okay.
That won't be enough. What are you doing with all that money?
Never mind. I'll call Darwin directly and tell him to give the money to you. Deliver to 407 South Street as fast as you can.
What's this all about, Mr. White?
I can't tell you now, but it's terrific.
Well...
I'll call Darwin. And don't waste a second getting over here.
Yeah, but
So long.
Mr. White, where are you calling from? Mr. White? Hello? Hello, Mr. White?
I'm sorry, sir, but your party disconnected.
Okay, can you trace the call?
We have no way of tracing a call once the party disconnects, sir.
Oh, all right, thank you. Something very queer about all this. And I think I know what it is.
Well, if Clark Kent does, he's smarter than we are because, frankly, we're puzzled. Why does Perry White need another $20,000? And what is the story that Lois has uncovered? Something is going to break soon, so don't fail to be on hand when it does. Tune in and follow the exciting story with Superman.
Don't forget, tune in again for the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
From 83 years ago, March 2nd, 1942, Superman, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. On our Monday show, Screen Directors Playhouse, The Paleface, starring Bob Hope and Jane Russell from 1950. You Bet Your Life, starring Groucho Marx from 1958. Fibber McGee and Molly from 1942. Bud Abbott and Luke Costello from 1949, and another delightful visit with Claudia. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you tomorrow for more Classic Radio Theater. I'm Wyatt Cox.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.